Have you ever felt a beat so strong it makes the ground shake? Now imagine that beat isn't just a sound. Imagine its history. Imagine its culture. Imagine it's the story of a people told by the way they move. This is the world of Zulu dance. It's full of life, it's full of energy, and it means so much. We're about to go on a journey to find out about this amazing part of South Africa's story. Get ready to be wowed by the power and the passion. The Zulu people have such a rich past. Their dances are like a window, letting us see their true spirit. It's a story that really should be told and felt. The Zulu kingdom, which you can find in a place in South Africa now called KwaZulu-Natal, has a story that's both huge and really inspiring. It's a story about warriors, it's a story about kings, it's a story about a special culture that people all over the world have found fascinating. But it's not just about old times. The Zulu spirit is alive and kicking today. You can see it in their art, you can hear it in their music, and most importantly, you can feel it in their dance. These dances are much more than just steps. They're like a language. They show happiness, sadness, celebrations, and history. They connect older people with younger people. Think of dance like a library that's alive. Every move, every beat, every chant holds a little piece of what it means to be Zulu. It's how stories were shared before many people could read or write. It's how groups of people came together. It's how they celebrated winning. It's how they showed sadness when they lost someone. It's how they marked big moments in life, from when a baby is born to growing up, from getting married to remembering family members who have passed on. This isn't just something they do for a bit of fun, even though it's brilliant to watch and even better to join in with. It's a really important part of who they are. So, let's step into this world. Let's find out where this amazing kingdom came from. Let's meet some of its most famous people. And let's dive deep into the super exciting world of Zulu dance. We'll look at different kinds of dances. We'll understand what they mean. We'll see how they're done. And we'll find out how these old traditions are still going strong in the world today. It's a story about being strong and bouncing back. It's a story about beauty. It's a story about a rhythm that's never stopped. Welcome to the world of Zulu history and dance. Get ready to feel that beat. A long time ago, before the Zulu kingdom was a big, strong power, the land was home to lots of groups of people called the Nguni. These groups were spread out across the lovely lands in the southeast of Africa, lands where lots of plants could grow. They lived in small groups, like big family groups called clans, and in areas ruled by a chief called chiefdoms. Each clan had its own leader and its own special ways of doing things. Picture little villages, living close to nature, growing food and looking after cattle. Cattle were super important. They showed you were rich. They gave milk and meat and were even part of big ceremonies like weddings. This was called lobola, a special gift, often cattle, from the groom's family to the bride's family when they got married. Life was simpler back then, but things were slowly changing and people were moving around. The name Zulu itself is pretty interesting. It means heaven or sky. Old stories say that the Zulu clan was started by a man named Zulu Kamalandela way back in the early 1600s. At that time, the Zulu were just one small clan, and there were many bigger groups around. They weren't the strongest group around yet. Think of them like a little fish in a big pond. They didn't have a very big area of land. There weren't very many of them, but like a tiny seed, they had the power to grow into something huge. The early Zulu people lived under the rule of bigger, stronger chiefdoms, like the Mthethwa and the Ndwandwe. These Nguni groups shared lots of their ways of life. They spoke similar languages. They had similar beliefs about their ancestors, family members from long ago in the spirit world. They also loved telling stories, making music, and of course dancing. Dance was already a part of their everyday lives. They used it in special ceremonies, they used it in celebrations. It was a way for everyone in the group to grow closer and show how they felt. These early dances were like the roots that the more famous Zulu dances grew from later on. They were the first building blocks of a wonderful culture. These ways of doing things were passed down from parents to children by telling stories and singing songs, not by writing things down and by doing them together. The land in Southeast Africa was always changing back then. People were moving to new homes, clans were teaming up, but there were also fights over things like land and cattle. This time, before the Zulu kingdom all came together as one, is sometimes called the Mfecane or Difficane. That means something like the crushing or people being forced to move. It was a time of big upsets and changes, and it made it possible for new leaders and new ways of ruling to start. It was out of all these changes and competition that a small clan, the Zulu, would start its amazing journey to becoming really important, changing the story of Southern Africa forever. This got everything ready for a brand new time. When we talk about the Zulu kingdom, one name always pops into our heads: Shaka Zulu. He was a leader with big ideas for the future. He was really smart at planning for war. People say he was the one who changed the Zulu clan from a small group into a really strong and powerful nation. Shaka Kasanzanga Kona was born around 1787. His early life wasn't easy. He and his mum Nandi had a tough time and were even sent away from their home and their own people. Maybe these hard times made him so set on his goals and gave him such big dreams. He spent some time with the most important chief of the Mthethwa people, Dingiswayo. There he learned about ways to fight and how to be a leader. Shaka started to become powerful after his father, Senzanga Kona, died around 1816. With Dingiswayo's help, Shaka became chief of the Zulu clan. But he wasn't happy just leading a small group. He had much bigger plans. Shaka right away began to change Zulu life in a really big and new way, especially their army. He brought in new weapons like a short stabbing spear called the Ikulwa. They say it was named after the sound it made when it was pulled out of an enemy. He also came up with new ways of lining up for battle, like the famous buffalo horns formation. This let his warriors surround their enemies and beat them. These new ideas for fighting made the Zulu army incredibly good at winning. Shaka also made sure they had strict rules and very tough training. Young men were put into groups of warriors based on their age, called Amabutho. These groups built strong friendship and loyalty. They lived together and fought together, making them a fighting team that stuck together like glue. With Shaka as their leader, the Zulu kingdom grew bigger very fast. They took control of other clans nearby. They made them part of the growing Zulu nation. This time saw lots of big changes and sometimes troubles, but it also brought many Nguni people together under one strong ruler. Shaka's time as king changed things in a huge way, but people still argue about whether he was good or bad. He built a nation. He made a strong kingdom where he, the king, had a lot of control. But the ways he did things were often very harsh. His rule had very strict laws and tough punishments. After his mother Nandi died, it said he ordered a long time of sadness where lots of people were killed, and there were rules saying people couldn't plant crops or use milk. Even with all the talk about what people remember him for, you just can't argue with the massive effect Shaka Zulu had on Southern African history. He got things started for the Zulu kingdom, which would later play a very important part in fighting against people from far away who tried to take their land. His name is still a legend today. For the Zulu people, dance isn't just something fun to watch. Oh no, it's much, much more than that. It's like the very heartbeat of their culture. It's a language that everyone understands, from the littlest kid to the oldest grandparent. Dance is a really big part of their daily life and special events. It's a way to show they're happy. It's a way to show they're strong. It's a way to feel close to their ancestors' family from long ago. It's a way to tell stories that have been passed down for years and years. Imagine a world where every important moment isn't just marked with words, but with powerful rhythmic moves. That's the world of Zulu dance. Dance is a super important way they share things in Zulu life. In a culture where stories and history were passed down by talking and singing, not writing, dance is like a living history book. It remembers history, it shows what's important to them, it teaches important lessons. Different dances can mean different things. Some dances might be done to get warriors ready for a fight, giving them courage and making them feel like a team. Other dances might celebrate a good harvest, a wedding, or when young men and women become adults. The moves, the outfits, the songs and the beats all mix together to create lots of different meanings, like a beautiful pattern. It's a way of speaking without using any words. Also, Zulu dance has a very important job in helping everyone feel like they belong together. When people dance together, they're not just people moving around, they're a community all together in rhythm and with the same goal. Doing this together makes people feel closer. It helps them feel like they're part of the group and that they are all connected. For example, big group dances can have hundreds of people all moving at the same time. This looks amazing and makes everyone feel strong as a group and proud. It's like saying, we are Zulu, we are one. This togetherness is really needed for everyone to be happy and do well. And why it's important for their beliefs is really deep too. Many Zulu dances are done as part of special important actions and ceremonies. These dances can be a way to show respect to their ancestors. They can be a way to ask for their help and good wishes. The rhythmic stamping of feet on the ground is sometimes seen as a way of connecting with the spirits of family from long ago who they believe are connected to the earth. The energy made by the dance is thought to make the ancestors happy and make sure there's peace between the world we see and the spirit world. So when you see Zulu people dancing, remember you're watching something deeply spiritual, deeply social, and deeply historical. It truly is the thing that keeps their culture strong and alive. One of the most famous Zulu dances, one that looks really amazing and catches your eye, is the Indlamu. This is often called the Zulu war dance. It's a dance with incredible power, skill, and every move is just right. Indlamu is usually performed by men. It shows off their strength, how quickly and easily they can move, and how well they follow rules and train as warriors. Imagine a line of warriors wearing their special traditional outfits like animal skins, head rings for married men, and carrying shields and sticks or spears. Just seeing that is enough to give you goosebumps. It's a way of showing how proud the men are of their strength and that they are ready for anything. The movements in Indlamu are strong and confident. They do high kicks, sometimes way above the dancer's head. There's powerful stomping of feet, which makes a sound like thunder on the ground. The dancers move perfectly together, all at once, showing how united they are and how much they've trained. The dance often copies fighting moves. It can include pretend moves to trick an enemy, running forward quickly, and ways to protect themselves. It's not just random jumping about. The moves are all planned out to show their skill in fighting. The Indlamu used to be performed before a battle to make the warriors feel strong and brave and to scare their enemies. It was also performed after they won a battle to celebrate. The Indlamu has lots of special meanings. The high kicks can mean kicking down an enemy or beating challengers. The stomping connects the dancers to the earth and to their ancestors, getting strength from them. The shields aren't just things they hold for show. They're a really important part of the dance, used in patterns and protective moves. The songs and chants that go along with Indlamu are just as important. They often tell stories of brave things they did, praise their leaders or dare others. Altogether, it's a powerful way of showing who the Zulu are, their strength, and their amazing culture. It's a dance that makes you respect them and pay attention. Even though big wars don't happen like they used to, Indlamu is still performed today. It's a big part of cultural festivals, ceremonies, and important get-togethers. Young men learn the dance as a way to connect with their past and understand the importance of discipline, courage, and teamwork. While the first reason they did it for war has changed, the spirit of Indlamu is still there. It's a lively way to show the strength and spirit of Zulu men and a proud reminder of their history. Watching Indlamu is like watching history come alive, feeling the power and spirit of the Zulu warriors from long ago. It's something you'll never, ever forget. Now for Ukusina and Ingoma, dances of joy, celebration and community. While Indlamu is a powerful war dance, Zulu culture is also full of dances that show happiness, celebration and community life. Ukusina is a common word for dancing, often linked with women's performances. But Ingoma is a word that means more things. It can be songs and dances done by both men and women, often for special events or celebrations, different from the specific war dance. These dances are full of life, energy and fun. They are performed at weddings, parties for when the crops are harvested, parties for when young people grow up and other friendly get-togethers. They are the sounds and sights of a community coming together to share happy times. Ukusina, when women do it, often shows how beautifully they move, their great rhythm, and their clever and fancy steps. The dancers might wear colourful beaded outfits, skirts that swish with their movements, and rattles on their ankles to help you hear the rhythm better. The movements can be smooth and gentle, or they can be really lively and energetic, depending on what they're celebrating and the song. The women often dance in groups, making beautiful patterns, and their singing sounds beautiful together. These dances can tell stories about everyday life, love, and what it's like to be a woman in their community. It's a beautiful way of showing the special qualities of women and their cultural pride. Ingoma dances often have a lead singer who sings a line, and then the group sings back. The rhythm usually comes from clapping hands, drumming, though drums weren't as important in traditional Zulu music as in some other African cultures. Hand claps and stamping feet were key, and the sound of feet stamping on the ground. In these dances, everyone is welcome to join in. It doesn't matter if you're not a great dancer. The main thing is everyone having a good time together and expressing themselves. Ingoma can be a way to celebrate catching a lot of animals on a hunt, a good harvest, or the joining of two families when someone gets married. It's a dance that brings people together. The hidden meanings in these happy dances are often about life. New life, like babies and growing crops, and making sure everyone in the group is doing well. The swaying movements might be like the crops waving in the field. The happy singing can be a way of being thankful to the ancestors for their good wishes. The way the dancers move together shows how important it is for everyone in the community to stick together. These dances aren't just about one person dancing, they're about the spirit of the whole group. They remind people of who they are together and what they believe in. Ukusina and Ingoma are a super important part of Zulu culture, filled with an energy that makes you want to dance too and celebrate life with them. They are truly the joyful soul of the Zulu people. Echoes through time, how Zulu dance has changed. Zulu dance, like any tradition that's alive, hasn't just stayed the same. It has changed and grown over time, shaped by big things that happened in history, changes in how people lived and meeting other cultures. For example, the time when people from other countries ruled South Africa brought big problems for the traditional Zulu ways of life, including their dances. The rulers from other countries often didn't trust or like traditional African ways, including dances. They sometimes tried to stop them because they wrongly thought these ways were old-fashioned and not good, or maybe a danger to their control. This meant that doing these dances and keeping them safe became a way for many Zulu people to fight back by keeping their culture strong. But even with all these difficulties, Zulu dance traditions kept going no matter what. They were kept alive in villages in the countryside, away from where the rulers could easily see them. They kept on being performed at important ceremonies and get-togethers, even if sometimes they had to be a bit quieter or more private. The mines also became a surprising place for dance. People who moved for work from different parts of southern Africa, including many Zulu men, would get together to dance when they had time off. This was a way for them to hold on to who they were and find a feeling of togetherness in the tough conditions of the places where miners lived. This led to some new kinds of dances and styles starting to appear. The apartheid era in South Africa, that was the time of unfair separation laws, brought even more problems. The system of unfair rules, keeping people apart because of their skin color and treating some cruelly, tried to control everything black South Africans did. Things like dance and music were sometimes used by the government to try and make themselves look good, even if it wasn't true. Or they were just ignored and didn't get enough money. However, for many Zulu people and for many black South Africans, their culture became a powerful way of showing their strength to keep going and to show they were against unfairness. Dance and music were ways to express their feelings and importance as people, their history and their deep wish for freedom. Old ways were kept alive, and sometimes new styles that mixed old traditions with new ideas started to appear. In the time after apartheid ended, people got excited about traditional cultures again. Zulu dance had a big comeback. People are really trying to keep these very old and special dances safe, help them grow and teach them to younger people. Dance groups have started up, competitions and festivals celebrate traditional dance. The dances have also made their way onto big stages in South Africa and around the world, showing everyone the richness of Zulu culture. So even though the reasons and places for Zulu dance have changed, and sometimes the dances themselves look a bit different, the heart and soul of it and its importance as a really important way of showing who they are remains stronger than ever. It's proof of its long-lasting strength. The modern beat Zulu dance today. Today, Zulu dance isn't just something old from the past. It's a part of Zulu life now, and South African culture too. that's full of life and excitement. You can see it performed in lots of different places and times, from villages in the countryside to big city theatres. When people visit to learn about a country's culture, that's called cultural tourism. It has played a part in this. Many visitors to KwaZulu-Natal are really excited to see the real Zulu culture, and dance shows are a big hit. This gives dancers a chance to show off their skills and make a living, while also teaching visitors about their traditions. It helps to keep their culture shining brightly for everyone to see. Modern Zulu dance groups often mix the old ways with new dance moves and clever ways to make the show look good on stage. This can make the performances easier for everyone to enjoy and more interesting for audiences today, both in South Africa and in other countries. While the most important movements, rhythms and special meanings are kept safe, there might be new ways of showing it or new performances. Some groups might use modern instruments alongside traditional ones, or they might create very detailed and fancy costumes that are based on the old designs. This way of changing helps make sure that Zulu dance is still important and exciting for new generations, linking the old days with today in a creative way that respects the past. Education is also super important to keep Zulu dance going and help it grow. Many schools and community groups now have traditional dance as part of their cultural activities. Young Zulus are learning the dances of their ancestors, understanding what they mean and feeling proud of who they are and where they come from. This is so important for passing on these traditions. Competitions like the SATMA Awards, that's the South African Traditional Music Achievement Awards, also play a big part in celebrating and helping traditional artists, including dancers. These kinds of shows and awards cheer them on and give them a chance for lots of people to see them. This helps make sure the dancing is always top quality and helps new ideas come along within the tradition. What's more, Zulu dance continues to be a powerful, special sign of who they are in South Africa, with all its different kinds of people. In a country that celebrates all its different cultures, Zulu dance is proud proof of how rich the cultures of the very first people of the land are. It's performed at national events, big political meetings, and community celebrations, often standing for togetherness and cultural pride. For many young Zulu people, joining in or watching these dances is a way to connect with their history, to understand where they come from, and to show who they are in a positive and powerful way. The beat of Zulu dance can still be felt deep down in the heart of modern South Africa. A beat that never stops, the lasting spirit of Zulu ways. This journey through Zulu history and dance shows us a culture with amazing strength, a talent for making new and amazing things, and a really deep and special meaning. From the early days of small family groups to the rise of a huge kingdom under Shaka, and through those hard times in their history, the Zulu spirit has never been broken. Dance has been something that's always been part of their story. It's been a weapon in war, it's been a celebration of life, it's been a comfort in tough times. It's been a bright and lively way to show who they are, a way that has refused to be quietened or forgotten as time went by. The dances we've looked at, like the powerful Indlamu and the joyful Ukusina or Ingoma, are more than just shows. They are history that's alive. They're a connection to ancestors. They're a way of saying, this is who the Zulu people are. Each stomp, each kick, each chant carries sounds from the past, but is also buzzing with the energy of today. The amazing beadwork, the animal skins, the shields and the spears aren't just costumes or things they hold. They are symbols packed with special meaning about their culture, telling stories of how important someone was, their family history and where they belong. This beautiful, rich story keeps on growing. Why Zulu dance is still so important now shows how it can fit in with new times and why people have loved it for so long and still do. Whether it's performed out in the villages, on a theatre stage in Durban or Johannesburg, or at a festival in another country, these dances wow audiences with their energy, skill, and they make people feel a strong connection to the culture. They act like a bridge between older and younger people, making sure that the wise ways and traditions of the elders are passed on to the young ones. They also act as a bridge between different cultures, inviting the world to see the beauty and depth of Zulu ways, helping everyone understand each other more and respect each other. When you look at it all, the story of Zulu history and dance is a story of people's amazing ability to create, to get through hard times, and to celebrate. It's a special story and gift passed down, not just in books, but in the very movements of its people. As long as the drums beat, as long as feet stomp the earth, and as long as voices rise in song, the vibrant world of Zulu culture will carry on, strong and full of life, and keep inspiring us all. It's their amazing history, dancing into the future, a rhythm that connects the past, today and tomorrow, making sure that the unique spirit of Zululand will be heard for many, many years to come. The beat truly does go on.